Countries and peoples fight and war with each other around the world all the time. Much of it we hardly hear about in the mainstream media. But as soon as something negative happens involving Israel, however small, it immediately creates turbulence and outrage in the world. The media and politicians then work hard to accuse, condemn, and smear Israel. Moreover, Israel is the nation in the world that the UN has condemned by far the most times. Other international organizations also routinely condemn Israel. One can rightly speak of the global hatred against Israel. Why is it that the whole world's spotlight is so angrily directed at Israel all the time? This small democratic country that always has to fight for its existence among undemocratic neighbors who want their annihilation. The natural and reasonable thing would be for the world's democracies to do everything possible to support and defend this constantly vulnerable people, this lamb among angry big wolves. But no, they point their angry finger at Israel. They condemn, they accuse. There are no sustainable explanations for this global unreasoning and irrational hatred. It can only be explained from a spiritual perspective. So here I will explain this hatred from the Bible and reveal the source of this global hatred. The Bible tells us that there is an invisible world of dark forces that affect countries and people here on earth. A common name for the main figure among these dark forces is Satan, which is a Hebrew word meaning accuser. How fitting, considering that he always manages to get the whole world to constantly accuse Israel. The Bible says, "The whole world is under the power of the evil one." Think about it. The whole world. That is, even the country where you live. This Satan and all his demons and all the people he works through hate Israel for 7 reasons in particular. Although it is not that people in general are aware of these 7 reasons, but people hate because they are unconsciously led and controlled in their minds by invisible, dark spiritual forces. And now the main reasons for this global hatred against Israel. There are 7 reasons in particular. The first reason: God chose a special people about 4,000 years ago, starting with Abraham and his family, who would later become the people of Israel. And that God chose a special people is a first reason why the powers of darkness hate Israel. The second reason: God gave these chosen people a tiny, tiny piece of land on earth, a land that we call Israel today. And the fact that God gave the people of Israel a land of their own is a second reason why the powers of darkness hate Israel. The third reason: God gave the world holy scriptures, the Old Testament through the people of Israel. And this is another reason why the powers of darkness hate Israel. The fourth reason: God gave the law and the 10 Commandments through the people of Israel. Morality was revealed to the world through the people of Israel. And that is another reason why the powers of darkness hate Israel. The fifth reason: God sent the Messiah, his own Son, the Savior of the world, to come to earth as a Jew through the people of Israel. And that is also a reason why the powers of darkness hate Israel. The sixth reason: the Christian Church was born through the people of Israel. And this is another reason why the powers of darkness hate Israel. The seventh reason: God again gave the world Holy Scriptures, this time the New Testament, through the people of Israel. And that is also a reason why the powers of darkness hate Israel and God's people. All these 7 reasons make all the powers of darkness furious, because the foundation of all 7 reasons is a people that God has chosen. And Satan hates everything that God chooses in this world. And this demonic hatred finds concrete expression through people who do not belong to God's chosen people. Of course, all the powers of darkness would prefer to annihilate the people of Israel. But if that is not possible, they can at least accuse and condemn Israel as much as possible. And they succeed in doing so. But never forget, those who hate Israel also hate God, who chose the people of Israel. And no matter what Israel does, the hatred will always remain. Even if this small nation were to contribute greatly to the health and prosperity of all the peoples of the world, which is also true in reality, this diabolic hatred will remain undiminished against this country and people. For the hatred has a spiritual root cause. But then there are those who have been delivered from the dominion of darkness, namely those who belong to Jesus Christ, and have thus received a new mind and received the Spirit of God. And they, the Christians, are also hated, because God has chosen them too. They are God's people. And they do not hate anyone. Instead, they want to bless, and they especially want to bless the people of Israel. Baruch Yisrael.